Hey everyone, we built a free sight singing app, but it is not just about sight singing, and it is not just for singers. It helps any musician train something much more fundamental. It trains a core part of audiation, the ability to internalize and recall the sensation of each note at will, so you can hear it clearly in your mind and sing it with ease. And this matters immediately, because if that ability is weak, improvisation stays mechanical, intonation stays unstable, and notes and chords remain slower to recognize in real music. So this is not about singing exercises. It's part of the underlying system behind a better ear, greater musical creativity, faster recognition, and more fluent musicianship. Most of your training works from the outside in. A sound is already there, and you try to recognize it. This trains the other side too, the active ability to generate, recall, and sing musical pitches. That active side matters because recognition becomes stronger when the same system is trained generatively, not just reactively. If you've tried a similar kind of practice while focusing on intervals and seeing little improvement, that is completely normal. Intervals don't work well here because they pull your attention toward abstract distances, while real musical hearing is organized around how each scale degree feels inside the key, which functions like a gravitational field for our perception. In this video, I'll show you how the app works, the mental strategy that makes this practice effective, and the common mistakes to avoid. Okay, here's the app. When you open it, that's just the only screen that it has. When you hit start exercise, it's going to play the 1-4-5-1 progression that allows you to establish the key. As you see now, the app is showing the degree that we are supposed to sing, and you have to press this button so that the app knows your singing is about to start, and it starts detecting what is picked up by your mic. Always allow access to the microphone when requested, otherwise the app is not going to be able to detect your singing. Last but not least, this gain fader here allows you to adjust the fader so that when you sing, the meter should pass this point. If it's slower, it's not going to detect your pitch. Let's play the 1-4-5 again. No. As you see, the app is detecting the pitch and it's providing the answer. And it's also telling you how sharp or flat you were overall. If you need to listen to the note, let's say you messed up the note, you can listen to it by playing this button. A quick thing about this scale button, this button plays the full major scale. This can be especially helpful for beginners because it quickly refreshes all 7 degrees before you sing. But think of it like training wheels. As you improve, you should rely on it less, or the exercise becomes too easy. The standard approach is to listen only to the initial chord progression and nothing more. You should be able to then sing the degree immediately. Another important thing is the randomized key function. The exercise initially stays in one single key if you don't activate this. After a while, staying in the same key, you can start memorizing the pitches. Basically, it gets easier, right? So since we don't want pitch memory to influence our performance, activating a randomized key is going to get rid of that variable, meaning you're going to be presented with a different key for every question. So your pitch memory is going to be reset at every new task. And that's what we want if you really want to train and isolate your ability to feel and recall the feelings of the scale degrees. A few words about how to approach the exercise and the mental strategy to adopt. If, when the exercise presents you the degree to sing, you can immediately feel the degree's sensation and hear its pitch in your head, just sing it. That's the best, easiest, and fastest mental strategy you can ever adopt. And that's the end goal of our training, really. But if you can't recall it instantly, here's the strategy. Sing the scale in your head, starting from the tonic until you arrive at the target degree. You can sing it upward, downward, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you stay anchored to the scale and you sing in your head all the notes and try to imagine them vividly. This is crucial because when you sing the scale in your head, you keep the tonality stable in your internal perception. You're not calculating intervals. This is a completely different thing. You're navigating within the tonal framework, within the gravitational field of the tonality. Calculating intervals is completely unrelated, and there's no association between intervals and the tonality you are actually perceiving if you use intervals in the traditional way, let's say, which I don't suggest. But the act of singing the scale in your head stepwise, that absolutely forces you in a good way to stay anchored to the tonality, which is exactly what we want at this stage. That might sound like a subtle distinction, but in the way we perceive musical pitch, it makes a huge difference. One approach, scales, becomes fast and leads to truly intuitive hearing. The other ones, where you think of intervals without really considering the key, does not scale and does not lead to an intuitive ear. So let's now talk about the pitch monitor that you can see here. So this pitch monitor just shows you the exact trace of your pitch over time. You can see if you start sharp, if you start flat, if you drift over time, or if you nailed it right on target. You can also check your vibrato and other nuances of your singing. But one important point is that this visual feedback is meant to help you refine your intonation. It is not meant to help you find the correct scale degree. Its role is simply to make you more aware of the subtle nuances and imperfections in your singing so you can gradually correct them by refining your perception of pitch sensations. If you cannot yet sing the correct scale degree reliably, the pitch monitor will not solve that problem, nor is it designed to. In fact, relying on it too early is counterproductive because it shifts your attention toward visual cues instead of the internal pitch feelings you need to develop awareness of, and that can seriously slow your progress. So if you're still struggling to sing the correct scale degrees, some more basic skills may need to be strengthened first, such as pitch matching, singing the scale, and other foundational abilities. If that's you, our free workshop can help you with that. Check the link in the description to access it. Once those skills are developed to a certain level, simply thinking through the scale will usually be enough to help you land on the correct degree reliably. You do not need the pitch monitor for that. If you follow this approach, over time you will notice your pitch trace becoming cleaner and more accurate because your mental image of each scale degree's feeling is becoming more precise. Here's a couple of other important common mistakes to avoid. Don't guess randomly. Speed comes later. Accuracy comes first. Don't skip the key establishment step. Always listen to the 1-4-5-1 progression and make sure you are feeling anchored to the tonic as your gravitational center. Your brain needs it. That said, this Sight Singing app is completely free. It also works on your mobile device, and for the best experience, use Chrome as your browser. You can access the app right now through the link in the description below. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.